welcome back to the OnlyAccies channel. Today we're about to preview the game that we've got tomorrow afternoon against Kilmarnock, but there's just been a statement released by the club 5 minutes before we started recording this from our CEO Colin McGowan, who is, let's be honest, begging the council to reinstate the 20-year-long lease that they had within the club. In the statement, he's saying how big a detriment it will be to all the community projects. He's also saying that with the lack of income, it could possibly mean the club need to shut our academy, which is a weird one. But to me, in my opinion, it reeks of desperation, and especially in the last section where he breaks down the financials and says that as a goodwill gesture, the council should pay the club £300,000. It's just, Brandon, you tweeted under it, delete this. It's a desperate, in my opinion, a desperate clawing for money that we're going to lose out.
That letter/statement, actually sending that to the councils is a shambles as it is. See, publicly posting that is just even more a fucking shambles. It took me about 10 minutes to read that, and I think maybe out of the 10 minutes, 10 seconds of that was anything football related.
Yeah.
Majority is projects, blah de blah. Colin McGowan's said beforehand he doesn't even like football, he doesn't even watch it. It's clear to see there that he's just in desperation for cash. They've known for ages that this contract was running out. It was only ever a 20-year lease that they signed, so that pretty much they should be. It just shows the lack of preparation throughout anything in Accies with regards to. They should have they never have a plan B. Look, that they've terminated and says they're not going to continue that lease. So, it's going to be like $300,000 a year down to what they usually get. Well, I'm sure half the fucking projects, and half the sand pits, everything that's fucking in that stadium don't come cheap. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I can't remember what the exact wording was that it was said, something about, as the CEO of this club, or should I say CEO of the stadium company, it is my job to get income in order for the football club to continue to run.
So what it says is, the CEO of Hamilton Academical, I am ultimately responsible for the rental income the stadium receives, which therefore allows us to house the football club.
That makes no sense whatsoever. The stadium company and the football club are completely two different entities. Well, apparently they're meant to be anyway. So by writing that, he's completely contradicting himself, and he could be putting himself in a massive hole by saying that.
Well, I think he's already done that, because we know that these negotiations have been going on behind the scenes. But like you said, this letter, which is what it is, to send this privately to somebody, again, in my opinion, it's a desperate kind of call for cash that they need. But to post it publicly is a whole other thing. All it is baiting the council to respond. That's all it is. It's making it public so that hopefully the community get behind them. So the community then go, oh, please, save these charity things, and the council feel bad or guilt tripped into it and do it. That's all this is. It's a guilt trip.
But like we says, we support Hamilton Academical Football Club.
Yes.
There's not much written about the football club that Colin McGowan's publicly said that he doesn't even watch. So it shouldn't matter if there's people renting offices in your building. That should have nothing to do with the football club, in my opinion. And the fact he's publicly put it on the football club's Twitter, it just completely contradicts its whole meaning. It's mental.
Yeah, but it's also just, it's full of spelling errors and mistakes like that.
Hamilton Academical Club Football, are we Spanish now? The reason it's mainly annoyed me, that statement, is because everything that's been sort of doom and gloom about Accies, all the negativity, the sort of distress between the fans and the club, fans couldn't be any further away from engaged with Accies at the moment, and I think we've always have felt the exact same way. But then the past week, we ran that competition. It was that young Jessica Forrest won, and quite rightly so. and it was just the difference. Just reading some of the memories and some of the away days made it's something that Accies are lacking in, and the fact that fans, you, myself, David, have had to do, and even just reading the messages and the tweets of these memories, it completely re-engaged me and gave me that interest again.
So let's move on to the whole reason we're here, football. Obviously playing tomorrow, Kilmarnock.
Take note.
What?
Take note, Accies.
Take note, Accies. The reason we're here is football.
Football.
Playing Kilmarnock tomorrow, and Kilmarnock seem to be a club that we perform well against, but just can't quite get the results. And I have a funny feeling that tomorrow's game is going to be really close. I can't see Kelly battering us, and obviously can't see Hamilton battering Kelly. I imagine I can see it being a 1-goal difference, but I do think the performance, especially second half against Aberdeen, will be a big confidence boost. And that's obviously all that's been in the papers. Ronan Hughes was in the Advertiser saying just that. Callum Smith had an interview out earlier on this afternoon saying the same thing. And I agree with him. I think if we can take that confidence into Kelly, I would definitely be looking at 3 points tomorrow.
If we can take that confidence in, that's all we're sort of hearing in the part for that statement. That's all we're hearing in everybody's sort of press conferences and media interviews, is we're going to take the confidence in for the past 2 games. And if we do that, then I have no, especially with what I've saw of Kelly and what I've heard for their fans, they've not really been in spectacular this season. Any games I've saw them, no, they've not been particular stand out. So if we do take the confidence and do what we're hearing so much, then I can see us getting a point out the game, possibly even a victory, which is mental to think about because we're absolute honking. But don't get me wrong, I think we've got a bit of stability now at the back, touchwood, with Aaron Martin. I think Rice has realised the type of football he was playing just wasn't working at all. So hopefully we're going to continue that sort of dogged approach where we are harder to beat. And it's not exactly the prettiest to watch, but...
And is there MD that in particular you would like to see start, maybe somebody who hasn't got a chance, or is there somebody that you think is a stick-on to start this game?
I would have said Tunde and give Justin Johnson a run out, but I don't think we can not start Marius this game now because he's going. I thought he did run himself into the ground, and I think he had every right to be annoyed when he gets subbed. That was his quite possibly only good game this season.
Yep.
So it'd be harsh on him to get dropped. So I'd like to see more of Thomas. I don't know if he's perhaps just very unfit, which would make sense because he didn't play football in about 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
But with stats for Carlisle, he certainly seemed that he's a lot better than we've got and any better options. So if he's even 50% fit, I'd like to see a cameo from him. But
Nathan Thomas coming on in the second half if we need an attacking option, because like you said, he's been on the bench, so I don't think he's anywhere near kind of fit enough yet. So I can see him coming on the second half. I would love to see him a cameo. I agree. I also agree that I would start Manny Sogampo. Like you said, ran himself into the ground and had a good game. I would also like to see Regan Mimno get another chance.
I know 100%. Definitely,
maybe not starting, but definitely like to see him come on because his actual stats in terms of picking passes is
technically he's probably our best midfielder in my opinion. I know, just see his technical ability and even his vision. Just see some of the times he's playing in a very poor Accies side, but see his vision for some of his passes for a 18-year-old boy. I'm trying to think who could replace if he was starting. I'm not a big Callaghan fan.
Yes, I'm kind of maintaining the Martin Callaghan partnership. I'm thinking maybe later on in the game say it's still 0-0, or we're needing a goal, he would be my option to bring on. Just like you said, his passing ability and his passing range would be a major asset. But I do agree, starting Martin and Callahan would be my preferred. If you had to have a score prediction, let's go all out. If you had to have a score prediction, what would it be?
3-0 Kelly. If you think bad, it can only be good. If you think bad, it can only be good. That is my motto with Accies.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to say one each. I do think Kelly will score. I think they're so dangerous going forward. Eamon Brophy, obviously. That Nicky Kabamba, is that his name? Kabamba. From what I've seen from him, he looks a bit of a brute force, kind of like our Augie. So I do see them scoring, but I am confident we will score in this game. So I'm going to go one each with fingers crossed.
I know my score prediction didn't say anything for the way I described how I thought the game will go, but I don't have a fucking clue. So
think negative and it'll be...
Think negative. And that's what, see when Accies fan, that's always been my motto. Think negative and it can only be positive. And when it is positive, we act like absolute silly men.
Absolutely. Smashing, we will be back after the game tomorrow afternoon for some fan interviews, live reaction from the game as well. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow. You look from yesterday, I feel like I'll never know.